Necrontyr are born to die. Death is neither cruel, nor does it respect virtue. But it is inevitable, and it does not wait long. A simple truth, perhaps, but crucial if you are ever to lead this dynasty. And you might well, O second heir of Unas, since death has no more reverence for either the dynasty or I than it had for those soldiers.
Ultix ruled the Ithacus dynasty after years of exile following the Great Sleep. The son of the Pharaoh Unas and second in line of succession to the throne world of Antiketh, Ultix fought alongside his brother Joseras during the Second War of Secession. Characterized with a trait rare for the Necrontyr, compassion, Ultix as a young general abhorred waste or the callous loss of life. Battling the Ogdobek dynasty as a valiant yet naive warrior, his deeds, though worthy, would continually be overshadowed by his brother. Spared from the greater suffering of the tumorous growths of the Necrontyr people for much of his life, as the initial cancer spread through his body, a means to escape his fate would present itself. Sarek, the Silent King, had wagered his people's souls for a chance at immortality, and alike to his kin, Ultix transformed into a being of living metal. Aiding in the War of Heaven prior to the Great Sleep of the Infinite Empire, following their slumber, the dynasty of Ithacus would awaken much earlier than its contemporaries. Plotting to usurp his father and brother as the true ruler of Antiketh, Ultix's schemes would be foiled by Joseras, leading to his exile and excoriation of his silver necrodermis coating. Cast to the backwater fringe world of Sedda, an orc invasion would break the monotony of his existence. Dividing his mind into subpersonalities known as subminds, with the aid of Cryptek Mentep, the 5 personalities of doctrinal, strategic, combat, analytical, and xenealogy allowed for Ultix to better converse with himself to achieve optimal outcomes in both politics and war. Personally slaying the Orc war boss, driven by an overwhelming sensation of disgust for its very being, the advisors of Ithacus would soon realize the cause for the Orc's sudden invasion. The Imperium of Man embarked upon one of its so-called crusades, and at the head of its gargantuan fleet of vessels, the ship Polyphemus led the charge. Purging planets in their wake, the humans in time would overwhelm the world of Sedda and all who served under Ultix. His armies numbering only 50,000 warriors, a quarter of such soldiers had fallen to their longing sickness, the Dysphorak, with only 15,000 units still operating at optimal capabilities. For every 100 warriors fallen in battle, 3 would never repair their injuries, and as such Ultix resolved to beseech help from his father on the crown world of Antiketh. Finding his people to be consumed by madness and ruin, although his brother Joseras remained sane, his father and the majority of his people had succumbed to the curse of the Flare virus. Meeting with his father, Ultix saw the horror of what he had become. Unas wore the severed face of the long-dead founder of his dynasty, Ithaka the Lawmaker, and in his act of desecration snuffed out all hope that he may be saved. Realizing too late that Unas's inaction and descent into madness had been hastened with the manipulations of the court vizier, Hemion, Ultix would be captured for his return from exile. Tortured and forced to battle within the gladiatorial arenas of Antiketh against Xenos and Flayed Ones, Ultix's subminds led by Doctrinal and his brother Joseras managed to free Ultix from his bondage. Joining his forces to his dynasty once more, Ultix and his kin defended Antiketh from the Astarte Space Marines, the Angels in Carmine, and their Titan Legio allies as evacuation of the world began. Knowing their defiance to be fleeting, Joseras bid Ultix to flee whilst he and his men held back the wrath of the Imperium. Returning to his father's throne room, Ultix commit regicide against his father to free him from his madness, and with his final death, Ultix inherited the command codes and dynasty of Ithacus. Knowing such a transferal of power to be his by virtue of his brother's demise, Ultix took no satisfaction in the achievement of his long toil, and with his dynasty now under his dominion, attempted to repel the vast Imperial fleet. Managing to destroy the Polyphemus, the Ithacans melted down the Great Aquila of its prow, and after removing the bone fragments interred within its construction, Aldix's body reanimated the pure gold to clad his form as befit the ruler of his dynasty. Slowing their advance with various weaponries and devices, the Crusades' advance would not abate as the Ithacan dynasty, as a last resort, attempted to travel to the cursed world of Drazak. As political infighting erupted within his royal court, his flagship's hull, now crammed with the rescued vestiges of Antiketh, spread the Flayer virus among his army. Once more confronted by the Angels in Carmine, Aldix perished at the hands of a Terminator Squad assault, yet as a last act, activated the fell Ghostwind Protocol. Allowing for himself and his people to enter the dimensional void used by the Flayed Ones to traverse the stars, the dynasty reached Drazak. A grave world, once the site of a battle of immense destruction against the Catan, the supposed origin site of the Dysphorak had endured for millennia within the zeitgeist of Necron society. Succumbing to the Flayer virus with the embrace of his fate, Aldix rose again and assumed the title of Valgul, the Fallen Lord. The Ithacus dynasty is dead, yet the Flayer King rules over his carrion subjects to this day as the Flayed Ones pledge their service. Though how the twice-dead king might upset the balance of galactic power is a mystery, even to me.